In part 2 of this series, How Do I Calculate My Calories, I want to go over some examples and theories of calorie intake on a daily basis, along with calories that we burn during our workout. This will help us be able to understand the ratios of protein, carbs, and fats that we need to eat, which will be done in a later video. As you can see on my screen, we have the calculation for both men and women, and what I'm going to use are the numbers that I was using when I started P90X back in March of 2011. So when I started, I weighed 160 pounds. I am 5'4", which is 64 inches. I know, I'm not a very tall gentleman, and at the time I was 35 years old. So, in part 1, I explained about BMR, MCI, and BCT. Now you can see by using the formula and my numbers from day 1 of P90X, we get a BMR of just over 1,637 calories. Now remember, from part 1, BMR is if I laid in bed and just breathed and let my heart beat. But of course we don't just lay in bed 24/7. So this number is multiplied by 1.2 to give us our MCI, or the number of 1965. This reflects a sedentary lifestyle, which pretty much equates to an office job. This is the amount of calories that I would want to eat to maintain my weight with no workouts. But in the scenario that we have here, we are set up to lose a pound a week with a 500 calorie deficit. The theory is that a pound equals 3,500 calories. So if we have a deficit of 500 calories over 7 days, that would equal 3,500 calories or 1 pound a week. Now before you say, I want to lose 5 pounds a week, I want to warn you that you're not the first, but there is a fine line, especially when you're starting out. When I first started P90X, my body couldn't handle the full 500 calorie deficit, and I became very moody. And my wife even later told me that she almost asked me to stop doing P90X because of my mood. So I actually increased my intake, and I only lost 2 pounds the first month. So my calorie deficit was between 1 and 200 calories per day. And I gradually moved it back to the 500 calorie deficit. And over the 90 days, I ended up losing 15 pounds. So take it slow and listen to your body. And listen to your significant other also. With that being said, if we take our MCI and subtract 500 calories for our daily goal of 1,465 and did nothing else, we would lose 1 pound a week. But at that low rate of calories, I would be very hungry. And this is actually where it starts getting exciting. When we do workouts, we want to eat all the calories that we burn during that workout. So for me, when I do P90X, I wear my heart rate monitor both for cardio and resistance workouts. Now there have been some that have been surprised that I wear it during resistance workouts. But for example, when I do P90X, legs and back with ab rep X, I burn between 750 and 1,000 calories. So it's important to wear the heart rate monitor for both cardio and resistance workouts. But for this example, I'm going to use a 650 calorie burn. This gives me a daily target of 2,115 calories, which is a good amount of food. If you break that up into 5 meals over the course of a day, that's 400 calories per meal, and that should keep anyone satisfied using the numbers for my height, weight, and age. If we compare those same numbers on the women's side, we can see that the BCT is about 200 calories less. And women tend to burn a little less calories, so we'll use a calorie burn of 400. And so that gives a daily target of 1,684, which for a 5'4" woman is still a lot of calories. So you can see the breakdown of the calories that we need per day and how our weights and weights, heights, and ages change that. So if we take the weight that I weighed at the end of P90X, you can see that it's a drop of about 115 calories. So weight does play a big part into those ratios. So I would recommend using these calculations about every 30 days. Now, if you send me an email and request, I can create you your own spreadsheet and send you a link to it. Just send me an email at me@coachgshort.com. I'll create your own webpage. Go in and play with it. Don't be afraid to break it. I can always restore it back to the original. Let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, keep pushing play.